welcome everyone to the Jester Says podcast, Episode 03. I'll be running through all the latest in the gaming world as well as discussing what's to come from Xbox Games Studios and Bethesda. So, let's jump straight into it. I'm Rhys, a.k.a. Jester. I've already told you what this is. This is the podcast. Um, I've got, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 news sort of items to run through. Couple of game release date announcements, well, one really, and then the announcement of a demo, and then we'll discuss everything Xbox and Bethesda. Number one, Phil Spencer is confident about a holiday 2021 release for Halo Infinite, which, according to Phil and 343, they've sort of narrowed it down to like a 3 to 4 week time frame that they've got nailed. So luckily, safe to say it should be coming around the holiday time. Just taking this from GameSpot.com. So Microsoft and Xbox boss Phil Spencer are confident that Halo Infinite will be launching holiday 2021 and that the release window is down to a few weeks, as shared on Reset Era. In the latest episode of Drop Frames, Spencer confirmed that both 343 and Microsoft are confident about Halo releasing as previously announced in 2021. Spencer went on to say that he is confident that a release window will be hit and that they know the 3 to 4 week period when the game will release. They just need to look at when some other game timing is going to happen. He said they're looking to provide more clarity as to when Halo Infinite will launch during the summer. So hopefully not too long, and we'll know exactly when we're going to be getting our hands on Halo. Something I absolutely can't wait for. Number two is Windows 11 and gaming. So Windows 11 has been described to be the best Windows ever for gaming. This just kind of clarifies the Xbox, Microsoft, they're all in on trying to make gaming as accessible and as sort of user friendly, I guess, to everyone. So just taking this from news.xbox.com. The title of the article, Windows 11, the best Windows ever for gaming. So gaming has always been fundamental to Windows. We build Windows to be a magical place where everyone can play, connect and create. That's why we're delighted to bring you Windows 11 with superior graphics, amazing speed and an incredible selection of games. Immerse yourself in superior graphics. So games will look better than ever thanks to Auto HDR, a unique capability we're offering with Windows 11 which automatically adds high dynamic range (HDR) enhancements to games built on DirectX 11 or higher that previously only leveraged standard dynamic range or SDR. HDR allows a supported game to render a much wider range of brightness values and colors, giving an extra sense of richness and depth to the image. We introduced this tech in our Xbox Series X and S consoles and got an outstanding response from creators and players. We're excited to bring this groundbreaking technology to Windows 11. So instantly, right there, they sort of saying, look, Windows 11 is coming. This is why you want to get excited about it. It's being built almost, for gamers, which is, it's awesome to see this kind of transformation over the past, 20 years of Xbox, where we first considered Xbox as this sort of just standalone console, and now you think of Xbox and it's more of a platform within itself. It's console, it's PCs, it's cloud gaming, it's Game Pass, it's this giant thing, you know. Another part of the article says, buckle up for gaming at amazing speeds. So with a high-performance NVMe SSD and the proper drivers, Windows 11 can soon load new games faster than ever thanks to a breakthrough technology called direct storage, which we also pioneered as part of the Xbox Velocity architecture featured in the Xbox Series X and S consoles. With direct storage, which will only be available with Windows 11, games can quickly load assets to the graphics card without bogging down the CPU. This means you'll get to experience incredibly detailed game worlds rendered at lightning speeds without long load times. Direct storage optimized Windows 11 PCs are configured with the hardware and drivers needed to enable this amazing experience. In addition to supporting the new hardware advances needed for direct storage, Windows 11 will continue to have the broadest hardware support in the world everything from our new Xbox wireless controllers to mechanical keyboards and gaming mice, to the adaptive controller, to the surround sound headsets, external GPUs, and more. So you'll still be able to connect millions of gaming peripherals and accessories to the game the way you want. It's all about accessibility and just knocking down barriers for Xbox, I feel. Whereas like the adaptive controller was one of those things where it's like, great, now a ton more people can be able to play these games that years prior would never have had the opportunity to. I think that just it's a cool play in terms of trying to make their market the biggest market they possibly can with all these kind of features that break down those barriers to entry. Okay. Number 3, Assassin's Creed Valhalla director Eric Baptizat, might have butchered that name, I butcher every name ever, has left Ubisoft after 16 years to join EA Motive as game director on an unannounced project. So, I'm just going to read the article here from IGN.com. So I've already listened to one bit. According to Axios, Baptizat joined Motive back in April, but whatever project he's working at EA has not been announced yet. It has been rumoured recently that EA Motive is working on a reboot of a fan favourite franchise with eyes on a July reveal. So that sort of July reveal will coincide with EA Play happening next month. Cannot wait. And a lot of fans are hoping for Dead Space. So we'll see if that happens. I'm not a Dead Space person because if anyone knows me, I do not like horror games. No, thank you. Oh, I hope you do well with it though. Number 4, Insomniac Games is working on a multiplayer project, it would seem. So this is once again from IGN.com. Makers of Ratchet and Clank and Marvel's Spider-Man, Insomniac Games appear to be gearing up for work on a project with heavy emphasis on multiplayer. This comes from multiple job postings at the studio which Insomniac says are for a multiplayer project. Among other roles, Insomniac is looking for a creative director, a story lead, art director, and a systems designer specifically for multiplayer systems. Digging into the listings doesn't glean too much in the way of specifics, though there are a few clues. The systems designer role asks for candidates to design player interactions and systems, including combat, navigation, progression, and economy for a multiplayer environment, indicating that wherever this multiplayer game is, it's likely pretty involved and complex, certainly more than just a multiplayer component thrown into a single player game. The same listing also asks for a thorough understanding of melee combat systems, enemy design, and boss design. So that could be quite cool. I've always loved whatever Insomniac have kind of dished out. I've yet to play Ratchet and Clank and the Spider-Man games, but previously stuff like Resistance, Sunset Overdrive absolutely remain some of my sort of more loved games of that their respective eras. Resistance on the PS3. I think Resistance Fallen Man was probably the first PlayStation 3 game I played, and thoroughly enjoyed that. Moving on, I'm just going to have to close a couple tabs here because I've just got so many windows open, and I think I just need to close stuff as I'm going to kind of be able to keep track of where the hell I am. But I digress. Halo Infinite's first multiplayer season will be Reach themed. So I'm going to try and take little bits from the sort of latest Halo Insider article, this massive sort of blog post. I'm just going to try and one sec. There we go. So at the center of our plans is a goal to deeply root your multiplayer character in the larger Halo universe and give them a vital, active role in the Halo story moving forward. How exactly we're going to do this is in seasons and years ahead. Well, we're not ready to share details yet, but I can share that we picked Heroes of Reach as a seasonal theme for very specific reasons. Reach has a rich history. It's a key location for Spartans of old and a focal point for the new generation of Spartans preparing to wrestle with the perils and mysteries of a galaxy that has fundamentally changed after the events of Halo 5. Indeed, Halo Infinite's first multiplayer season takes place at a transformational moment in Halo history, at the pivot point from one generation of heroes to the next. In this moment, your multiplayer hero is waiting just off stage, geared up for battle and ready to spring into action, and their epic story has yet to be told. They know how to get me hyped. So, I've yet to play Reach. I'm quite interested now in playing Reach 4 and 5 Guardians, hopefully in the run up now to Infinite's launch, so I can kind of have a better bearing on what's going on, where am I doing, who's Master Chief, why is Master Chief. I'm just kidding, I know who Master Chief is. I played Halo 1, 2, and 3, and ODST, one of my favourite games. But yes, hyped. This holiday, hopefully we'll get a date over the next month or so. They said summer, they might be able to show us the date, so we'll see. I just need a drink of water. Okay, and the final bit of news that I'm going to run through. So, Nintendo is giving Forever Entertainment some financial support in order to publish more Switch games. Forever Entertainment was the publishing team behind the latest Panzer Dragoon remake. So, just going to take some bits from an article once again at IGN.com. Forever Entertainment, the Polish publisher behind the Panzer Dragoon remake and Fear Effect Sedna, has announced it will be publishing several titles on the Nintendo Switch through a partnership with Nintendo. The announcement was published on Polish financial site Bankia and was spotted by Wired Up Report. No specifics about what games are included in this collaboration were given, nor who would develop them, but Forever will receive significant financial support from Nintendo to publish the titles. And that's more or less all we kind of have on that. So it'd be interesting to see. So Nintendo have been sort of reluctant in the past to kind of acquire studios and that. So they've always gone this kind of partnership route more than anything. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. So that's all the news gone through in terms of like news, and then we have the other bit of news. Kind of, I'm gonna have to figure out ways to kind of describe all this. Game release date announcements. So the main one we have Aliens Fireteam Elite is coming August 24th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Steam. And I can't wait for that. I love sort of the Aliens and the Predator sort of universes, and I think this will just be another nice little sort of foray into that. I'll just sort of have a look at playing the trailer a sec. And would that be the right window? Yes, it would. Let's have a look. So the Endeavour, I recognise that. I've not watched the trailer yet, so this is a quick little reaction bit inside the podcast, I suppose. Okay. Gotta love customization. There's that W for Wayland. Okay, this looks very interesting. A lot of different locations by the looks. And it's coming this August. Very nice. Pre-order now. And you get some pre-order stuff. Always cool. Alrighty then. Let's go back. And the other bit of sort of game release, game demo stuff then is a demo for Neo The World Ends With You, launched on Friday, June 25th, and that's for PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. Let's take another drink. Okay, and now the big one to discuss everything Bethesda and Xbox Games Studios. I'm going to run through the sort of different studios and sort of discuss what they've got going on, what might they have going on, that kind of stuff. So I've split it into two different sections, a Bethesda section and then an Xbox Game Studios section, just to make it easier for my head, I guess. First up, we have Bethesda, topic one, and under them we have Alpha Dog Games. Now, this is the mobile studio that Bethesda had anyway before coming over. Their latest project was Mighty Doom. After that, quite unknown, not sure what we're going to get. Swiftly moving on. Roundhouse Studios is one of their more, well, it was one of Bethesda's more recent acquisitions. I think that was something like 2018, 2019. They've still are working on something that is unannounced. We have no idea where it could be. Roundhouse is headed up by a lot of the crew from formerly Human Head Studios, and they done previous stuff such as Prey, Brink, Defiance, the Rune series, Dungeon Defenders 2, The Quiet Man. So there's a lot of kind of experience behind that. Nothing too massive that I can sort of pick out, so it'll be interesting to see what they come up with um, and what they deliver. After that, we have ZeniMax Online Studios, which of course we know for Elder Scrolls Online. They also supported on Fallout 76, and through recent listings and news, it looks like they're hard at work on another AAA project. What that is, it could be anyone's guess. Whether it's I wouldn't think it's an MMO in the Fallout universe. I think Fallout 76 kind of covers that multiplayer aspect of Fallout anyway. Um, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. Let's have a look. There's a bit of an article that I'm going to read you. So from segmentnext.com. According to job listings spotted earlier today when the article was done on April 20th, the said AAA project has now entered pre-production, which means that ZeniMax Online Studios has started finalizing the core and overall design of the game. Furthermore, job listings reveal that the in-development game will feature both player and NPC-controlled vehicles with the option to tune vehicles, which suggests an expansive open world. Whether that will be on par with Elder Scrolls Online remains to be seen. So I'm always up for more kind of MMOs, and especially if this is going to be free with Game Pass. Damn right, I'll be tuning into that. I look forward to seeing what they bring. Then we have Tango Gameworks from down in Japan. They're currently working on the sort of PS5 timed exclusive Ghostwire Tokyo. Other than that, probably nothing else kind of lined up yet. I think they're more or less a bit of a small team. They've done Evil Within and Evil Within 2 in the past. It almost looks like they kind of work on just one project at a time, get that done, and then move on to the next one. Nothing, I don't think, majorly to speculate about there. We also have Machine Games, one of my favourite teams currently under the Xbox and Bethesda umbrella, primarily because Wolfenstein is absolutely fantastic. Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, one of my games of the year for the year it released, and I really enjoy Wolfenstein 1. We know for a fact they're working on Indiana Jones, along with Todd Howard kind of taking the helm for that. After that, I would like to say it's safe to make an ass out of you and me by saying Wolfenstein 3 is probably a thing. It's one of those where it's going to happen. The just sort of question is when, and will it in fact be Machine Games? I think it should. Machine Games has proven they are reliable in delivering a sort of grounded yet completely wild world and story. Absolutely love that universe. Can't wait to see more. We also have id Software, the sort of, if Machine Games is Wolfenstein, id Software is Doom. That's just the way it's been. Previously, id Software has done Doom, Doom Eternal, Quake Champions, and Rage as of late. I'm guessing now with the Doom Eternal kind of released and its expansions kind of more or less final, the next project, maybe more Doom, but I would love, absolutely love, a brand new Quake game. One that just ticks all the boxes and one that comes to consoles. That would be one of my sort of desires. I would love to play Quake on consoles. And a new Quake, not, you can play the old ones on consoles. No, don't give me that. I want a new Quake for consoles. I'll take a Doom if you're working on it, but Quake, please. We also have Arcane Studios, so there's Arcane Lyon and Arcane Austin. Lyon is working on the PS5 timed exclusive Deathloop, whereas Austin have just revealed Project Omen to the world in their in the Xbox Bethesda Game Showcase, and that is Redfall coming summer 2022. Cannot wait. Looks awesome. It kind of, even though it seems we're getting a lot of these titles at once, but it's a more of a Left 4 Dead style kind of thing by the looks of it, where you can play it on your own, you can play it with a bunch of friends, and it looks like you're going up against a ton of vampires. Awesome. The final sort of, I guess, the head of the table of Bethesda is Bethesda Game Studios. And we know they're working on Starfield, coming out 11th of November 2022. Absolutely psyched, can't wait. Brand new IP, brand new universe, their first brand new, wholly original IP in, I think, Todd out was like 25 years. That's insane. Let's hope it delivers. After that, we know the Elder Scrolls 6 is also kind of on the way. The question for me now is, there's 4 teams. There's Austin, there's Dallas, and there's a couple of others. Rockville, I want to say. And just have a look for Bethesda Game Studios. Should have had that one lined up. Rockville. That's annoying. Montreal, is it? Yeah. Montreal, Dallas, Rockville, and Austin. So with 4 teams, they currently announced only 2 games. I'm wondering whether there's any more. Maybe there's probably early stages of the next Fallout game, or maybe even another brand new IP. Who knows? I'm already excited with what they've announced. The thought of anything being worked on that isn't announced is quite tasty. But I look forward to Starfield coming next year. That is chef's kiss. One of my most anticipated now for next year. And that rounds up the Bethesda teams. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 teams. And then we also have to go through all of Xbox Game Studios. One sec. Okay, so Xbox Game Studios Publishing is first up. I think I chose that one because it's more of the partnership type one. Um, they are currently with Avalanche Studios working on Contraband, which was believed to be Project Typhoon. And there's also another project, Project Dragon. in conjunction with IO Interactive, it seems. This is, I don't think it's been like properly confirmed yet, but that seems to be the thing. And we know they're also with partnershiping with Asobo Studio on Microsoft Flight Sim, which is coming to consoles soon, along with a Top Gun kind of expansion in which you can fly jets. So I'm happy with that. Finally get to try it out, and I look forward to seeing what more kind of these types of partnerships happen. Now, I do wonder whether some of these kind of partnerships will hint towards any maybe future acquisitions. Uh, I think a world where IO Interactive was an Xbox Games Studio, meaning Hitman would be a owned by Xbox. I think that would be quite awesome, but I digress. Avalanche Studios is another one of those where it could be, are they going to be acquired? Maybe. Who knows? All I know is we're getting Contraband, an open world co-op game that I'm quite interested in. It seems to sort of look at sort of smuggling and that kind of stuff. So we'll see where that goes. Next up, we have World's Edge, which is the Age of Empires team, and we all know what's coming. Age of Empires 4 coming this October. Looking forward to a new Age of Empires game, which hasn't happened for quite some time, and they're working alongside Relic Entertainment to deliver that. Then we have Mojang or Mojang or Mojang or whatever way you say the word. The Minecraft team. There. Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons is what they've sort of delivered on previously. Is there another project lined up? I think the Minecraft IP is probably suited for a lot of different worlds and stories. So I guess only time will tell whether or not there'll be another sort of spin-off game, or who knows, maybe even a sequel. But Minecraft, one of the best-selling games of all time, they probably quite happy enough just keep adding to it and making it more purchasable, um, buyable, interesting. Who knows? Then we have Compulsion Games, one of the kind of wild card ones for me in terms of We Happy Few was sort of announced, and then I think it was just shortly before release, Xbox acquired them, and it was one of those, huh, really? You're acquiring Compulsion? Okay, that's interesting. Um, I love Contrast. That was another team sort of published, developed by Compulsion. Um, I didn't play We Happy Few currently. I'm making my way around to it, but it's quite low on my backlog list when I've got tons of other games to play. So it's working on an announced title. It's probably safe to say it could be maybe another year or two away. Well, I guess we'll see, maybe, hopefully see more next year. We also have Double Fine Productions, the team behind Rad, Headlander, Psychonauts, Day of the Tentacle Remaster, Grim Fandango Remaster, Broken Age, and Brutal Legend. Now we know Psychonauts 2 is coming out in August, but what we don't know is probably they're working on something else. They're hitting that finish line soon for Psychonauts 2. They're bound to be working on something else, and it'll be kind of interesting to see where they go. They're known for their kind of wacky and sort of weird stories and worlds, and I think Double Fine produces this sort of, like, it creates this niche sort of genre of its own, I guess. There's plenty of other sort of, weird and wacky kind of games out there, but in terms of the Xbox portfolio, I think Double Fine really fits in well in between all the massive RPG um, studios, in between the shooter studios. There's the racing teams, and I think this is a kind of a nice addition. Um, Psychonauts 2 looks great. Look forward to playing that when it comes out, along with then finding out hopefully with what's next. Then a studio with a ton of pedigree, a ton of history. I'm talking about Ray. So what we know is they're bringing us Everwild. maybe not working on anything else currently. I think a lot of their key focus and sort of work is going to be geared towards Everwild, especially that they've had to kind of go back to the drawing board and almost kind of redo what that game actually is. Uh, that's hmm, just trying to think like how far away Everwild could be, and I think it's pretty far out. I would say at least 23, 24, but who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. We also have Undead Labs, which was another acquisition from 2018, I want to say. 2018, 2019. It was a couple of years back. And they have announced State of Decay 3. They announced that in the 2020 Xbox Games Showcase. No, nothing since. I probably, like a lot of the announced games, it's probably far out. It's probably, oh, I'd say that's 24, 25 game. Maybe 23 if depending on their scope and what the game actually is, because we don't know that yet. But State of Decay 1 and 2, absolutely loved, put a ton of hours into those. If State of Decay 3 is State of Decay 2 with a couple more, much requested features, a bit more fine tuning, a bit less buggy, I think that could be the game that kind of cements them as the zombie people. Then we have In Exile Entertainment working on an unannounced IP. We know for a fact they're working on an unannounced IP. They've been quite open about saying, yep, they're working on something new. What that is could be anyone's guess. They've previously done stuff like The Bard's Tale and Wasteland. They're very sort of RPG orientated and focused. It appears it could be like an FPS RPG coming up from them. Very interesting. I look forward to seeing more from the team in Exile. That was one of the ones when they announced the acquisition. I was like, huh, it wasn't a team I was overly familiar with. I recognized the logo when it came up on screen, but it wasn't a team that I'd be like, oh yeah, in Exile, I know them. No, I just didn't know. The fact that they're an RPG, a heavy RPG lineage team, got me quite excited. I look forward to seeing what's next. We have Turn 10 Studios, the team behind Forza Motorsport, and wouldn't you know it, they're making a new Forza Motorsport game. This year, it's Horizon's turn again, apparently. Not that I'm complaining, Horizon 5 looks sick, more about that later. Forza Motorsport is coming probably 22, 23. Give Horizon its kind of year to breathe, and then Motorsport could come out next holiday and make a lot of money next holiday. After that, we have Playground Games. So this is the Forza Horizon guys. They're making Forza Horizon 5. That's coming out later this year. They're sort of, Forza Motorsport is your sim type racing game. It's your more realistic kind of one. Horizon is your more arcade racer, the one that you want to play with your friends in this sort of open world. Um, Forza Motorsport is more about the kind of like track racing then. Horizon is all about this kind of go wherever, do wherever, race each other in this massive open space, and along with a lot of their kind of arcade racer tropes, there's like a level creator thing where you can build these wacky races, and that'll be what I'll be spending my time playing come November. But not only a Playground game, working on Forza Horizon 5, they bring in their open world expertise to an entirely new game, which is what Phil Spencer said a couple of years ago. And turns out, yes, it was the long rumored Fable game. Fable got announced officially last year in the Xbox Games Showcase. Haven't seen anything since. It was a brief mention in the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase this year. That'll be another 23, 24 game. Hopefully it's further along. I wish all these games were further along, but I'm thinking more realistic. A lot of these are going to be far out, but I'm happy to wait. At the end of the day, investment takes time. Xbox have put their faith and their money in acquiring all these teams, and we just gotta wait for it to pay off, I guess. They've already said they want to get to the point where they're kind of releasing, one key game every quarter, and that's just at least. There could be, like multiple games in some quarters, depending on how things land. Probably, particularly around holiday season, there'll probably be at least two releases. They typically have been. Normally, you get either like Gears and Forza in the holiday season, or Halo and Forza, that kind of stuff. Up next, we have Obsidian Entertainment, one of my favorite development teams of all time. They've worked on Knights of the Old Republic, South Park, The Stick of Truth. This is a team that knows how to create fantastic, interesting, dynamic worlds filled with fully fleshed out characters that have depth to them, that you want to talk to, that you want to sort of be around, that you want in your party. Um, Looking forward to what they have next. They've sort of, by the looks of it, finished the Outer Worlds stuff now, and they're moving on to Outer Worlds 2, which got released. Released? I wish it was released. Got revealed in the Xbox Bethesda showcase. Avowed, they're also working on. We knew about that from the Xbox showcase last year, and they're still working on finishing up Grounded. So that's probably it for them. There might be another small kind of project lurking somewhere in between, but the Outer Worlds 2 Avowed, I'm happy. There's my RPG fix right there. Granted, I'm gonna have to wait. Avowed is probably something like a 22, 23 title, and Outer Worlds 2 is probably going to be like 25, something like that. I kind of was wondering why Xbox would announce so many games so far out, but I think it's to kind of maybe get ahead of leaks for one, where possible, or like some of these they did already leak, but two, I think it's that promise of, look, we've acquired these studios, these are the games you're eventually going to be getting, don't worry, we are working on it, and it's kind of that promise of, yeah, Xbox will be the place to play. I look forward to it. Another one of my most favorite teams ever, Ninja Theory. So Hellblade 1, Senua's Sacrifice, outstanding, 10 out of 10, loved it. Just, I need more of that world. And when they sort of announced Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 at the Game Awards alongside the Series X reveal, I was thrilled. Look forward to seeing what Ninja Theory pull off. Alongside this, they're doing Project Mara. That'll be another interesting kind of um, thing. The studio has recently been looking at ways of sort of dealing with kind of mental health issues and exploring those, I guess, then in their games. So it'll be interesting to see what they produce. Up next, we have the brand new Xbox Studio that they kind of created. They didn't sort of acquire these, and that's the Initiative down in Santa Monica. And well, it's the long anticipated, long awaited reboot, I guess, or maybe a sequel of Perfect Dark. The trailer that we got given, everyone was absolutely thrilled with. Cannot wait to see more. This was also announced at a Game Awards. This was the 2020 Game Awards. It'll probably be another one of those where it's a long ways off, but we can wait. Then once again, it's that here's a promise of something coming. It's something you want. Cannot wait. Then we have the big two, I guess the core two. I guess Forza kind of fits the core sort of projects, but Gears 6 from the Coalition, maybe, and Halo Infinite from 343. We know those are probably, well, Halo is definitely happening, coming this holiday. Date to be confirmed soon, I hope. But Gears 6, probably safe to assume. Um, but maybe is another spin off sort of titles. They've done Gears Tactics, fantastic game. I got, however, stuck in the final boss fight because not through that I couldn't do it. I wasn't allowed to do it. The game would bug out. But maybe that's fixed now. Maybe I can get back to it. They also did Gears Pop, um, and then Gears 5 came out. Gears 5 absolutely loved. Look forward to seeing more from them. But it's all about this holiday. Halo Infinite from 343 Industries. This is the make it or break it for 343. This is the one where they've really got to deliver. Otherwise, Halo risks that kind of plummet into mediocrity. You know, a lot of people kind of maybe I don't know whether they undervalue it because I don't know what the value of it myself, but a lot of people kind of quick to point out the flaws and stuff of uh, the latest titles like Guardians, Reach, and 4. So it'll be interesting to kind of see if 343 can bring it back with Halo Infinite. And I would list in all those different things. It's highly likely, this is an educated guess, maybe 30 titles are currently sort of in development from Xbox Game Studios, Xbox Game Studios Publishing, and Bethesda. That is insane, considering they've got 23 studios. To have 30 projects in development at least, not including maybe some of these other secret hush hush ones. That's that's awesome. That gives me hope and excitement for the future of the Xbox platform, and I look forward to seeing where uh, Papa Phil Spencer can take it next. Well, that's it for me. Thank you for everyone tuning in. It has absolutely been a pleasure once again to lead you through all the latest news and to discuss some Xbox stuff for you. Next week, I think we'll have a look at some PlayStation and some Nintendo kind of studios and what to expect, what's upcoming, etc. I guess the main thing for me, the Nintendo stuff is obviously something I really do love, but a lot of this stuff is quite very much under lock and key. There's not a lot of stuff that'll leak from Nintendo, and if it does, typically it's been smaller stuff. So I'll have fun kind of doing my research and trying to sort of scour the internet for any trace of hints and rumors and leaks of anything Nintendo related. Obviously, I won't be leaking anything myself. I'm not that damn good. Um, and if it is kind of leaky stuff, I might not kind of divulge that because I don't want to be the one to leak anything. I love surprises, so I won't be looking too far deep. But anything that we kind of is open in the news, I kind of I'll talk about. And same for PlayStation. I think a lot of their stuff has typically been kind of hush hush. Doesn't really seem to deal with many leaks. So we'll see how that goes as well. Hope to see you next week. Thank you for stopping by and take care all.